Hi everybody, welcome back. Today, sorry my throat is funny today too. I have a sore on the top of my mouth. So I was going to go to my home remedy that always works for this. So then I figured why not make a video on it and share the information. So that's what I'm doing. Now if you get canker sores from dentures, partials, braces, retainers, any of that, or sometimes you even will get mouth sores from medications, this should work for you. My two youngest sons used to get canker sores a lot for two different reasons, but kind of sort of the same. Michael used to sneak and drink a lot of soda. I didn't buy soda, but you know, once they become teenagers and whatever. So as soon as he told me he had a canker sore too, I knew. I'm like, Michael, how much soda you were drinking? And then Jeremy, his was oranges, and he almost always got those in the winter. And he'd get a lot at one time. He'd get like 3 or more. And he would go crazy over oranges. And he would eat anywhere from 2 to 4 of them a day. And I'd say, Jer, that is way too much acid. Your mouth can't handle it. You know, stop eating them for a week. And then maybe one a day, you know. So, I mean, there's just a lot of reasons people get them. Stress can bring them on, you know. So anyhow, I just want to share this simple remedy with you. And it is sage. It's summertime, so I have sage growing outside. And so I picked a couple of leaves and I'm going to get started with the remedy. Okay, so what you're going to do is get yourself a tea ball, rinse off your sage leaves, but just tear them into pieces. I got, you know, 2 average size leaves here. Now, if you don't happen to have fresh sage, that's okay. You can use dried. Rubbed sage, whatever, you know, go into your spice cabinet and grab it on out. Oh, that's good enough there. And I would say put in here a little less than a teaspoon of dried sage. Go ahead and get that on there, and then let's work on the water. Okay, so get yourself a cup. A coffee cup is best, I suppose, and not a really big mug. You don't need a whole lot. But the bigger the cup, the more sage you're going to need to use to concentrate it better, and you really don't need that much. So if you do only have big cups, then just fill it halfway. So this water is freshly boiled, and I'm going to let it sit just for like 30 seconds to a minute, just to get it a little bit cooled down. Alrighty, now we're going to add our tea ball. And we're going to let that sit in there. You can come around and, you know, bounce it up and down, swirl it around, whatever you like. But we're going to let this sit until it gets about lukewarm. So just let it sit on the counter, let it cool down naturally, and then we'll be back. Okay, it has cooled down pretty much. So I'm going to just go ahead and get that tea ball out of there. Now let's see if you guys can see the color of this. See, it's like a light green. So to this, you are going to add 1 teaspoon of raw honey, or the best honey you can get. Local would be wonderful. If you don't have any honey, or you know, you got kind of questionable honey, like you're not sure where it really came from, if it's good honey or not, then go ahead and leave it out. You don't have to have this in here. It just does help with the healing process. See, it melted in there really well. Okay, so now what you're going to do with this, you know, make sure it's cooled down. You can even do it cold, but warm, a little bit warm feels better. You're going to take a mouthful of this and just swish it around in your mouth, trying to concentrate, especially wherever that sore is. Even if it's like, you ever get those little bumps on the side of your tongue that hurt, bit the inside of your mouth, whatever, just swirl it around there, and you want to do that for about 30 seconds. I wouldn't go longer than a minute though, because this will pull stuff out. It's very antiseptic. There's a lot of great stuff in sage, especially when it comes to your mouth. I'll put a link in the description box so you guys can learn a little bit more about that. But you're going to do this 3 times a day. So do it morning, afternoon, evening, preferably right before bed. Now don't do it more often than that, and don't do it super long, because one, it's not going to matter if you do it extra. This is plenty. But you're also going to end up with really bad cotton mouth if you do. If you do it too often, your mouth will become really dry and uncomfortable, and that's not a good thing either. By the end of the second day, your mouth sore should be pretty much gone. You might have to go a whole 3 days, but I wouldn't go beyond that either. Take a break, and if you still have them or they're coming back or something, do it again. Now this cup is good for 1 day, so make a fresh cup every day. And like I said, you can do it when it's cold too. So if you make it in the morning, it's nice and warm, blah, blah, blah. Just make sure to, whatever leftovers you have, go ahead and dump those out. Dump that out, and then make yourself a fresh cup for a new day. And I hope you try it. I'm not hoping you have mouth sores, because they're uncomfortable and they're not fun at all. But if you do, I hope you do try it, and I hope it works for you. And if you got any tips on there, please make sure to leave them down in comments. I'm sure we'd all love to hear about them. Anyhow, thumbs up the video if you liked it. I really appreciate you watching. It was nice talking to you. And you take care.